Frame here with the latest updates from We Share Abundance. I've been talking to myself. I forgot to press the go live button. Boom. Okay. We Share Abundance is a cloud nation, and we are the United States of the world, and we're on a mission to banish poverty. We should be streaming live on YouTube, Twitch, and in our Facebook group, We Share Abundance Publicly. I'll be heading over there in a moment because that's where we get most of the comments and where we can interact better with people. But we do have Lewis in from Portugal on YouTube. Right, it is of course a weekend, so there won't be a lot of development updates, but let me get over to Facebook, make sure my speakers are off. And I'll be looking for We Share Abundance Publicly group. The 19th, I think. Yep, 19th. When that comes up, well, it's up. So I'm looking for the 19th, and that's fine. And if I click to expand, we should get this panel up. And we've got Stephen Valentin in from Indianapolis, Indiana. Lovely to see you, Stephen. Lovely to see anybody, whoever you are, whether you're watching us live or whether you are watching the replay. An awful lot of people watch the replay because there's no convenient time for everybody. We've got Richard in as well from Devon, the UK. And we'll be getting started in just a moment with a short prayer to help us find the path to happiness. Happiness is what we all seek, but not all of us know how to find it. We have people that are very successful in making a lot of money, but you can't buy happiness. They're not necessarily happy. Happiness only comes, that true, lasting, continuous joy that stops you searching continuously for more of what, only comes from loving service to others. Once you've found that, you have that sort of contentment inside you, and you'll find that everything that you want and need in life will flow automatically to you as well. So it's definitely a route to take, and that's what our little short prayer is about. Following that, we'll have a little affirmation because we're a non-separatist organisation. That means we don't pigeonhole people based on how they look, act, where they've been, what they've been in the past, what they say they're going to do, anything like that. It doesn't matter. Colour, creed, gender, class, none of it matters. We just see people as human beings, all part of one big family, all interrelated. And we recognise that every human being is unique and so has something unique to offer our community. And therefore, every human being is of equal value within our community, and so is treated with equal love and respect. Well, we got Deborah in from Southern Alabama, USA. It's beautiful weather here. There's strange weather going on all over the world. Some places are having fires, some places are having torrential downpours. Places that see a couple of inches of rain a year are getting 3 or 4 inches in a day. The world's gone crazy. But anyway, let's get started with that short prayer, and then we'll give you what updates we have and let you go about enjoying your day. If you've got a day like we have here in Cornwall, it's a beautiful sunny day. It's been a beautiful day today. Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, we are so happy and grateful for you, and we ask that you bless the We Share Abundance community, that it may fill each member's heart with unconditional love. Through that love, that each member finds the joy of service. And through service, bless each member that they may attract into their life true happiness and everything they want and need. Amen. And the little affirmation we have goes like this. We are so happy and grateful to be citizens of the United States of the world with God and truth as our leaders. Heavenly Father, may thy kingdom of peace come into our world as it is in heaven, and free us all from divisive inharmony, that we may become perfect citizens in body, mind, and soul of thy world. Okay, as I said, with it being weekend, the developers don't work, so nothing to report on that. I haven't had any updates from ROI tips, which I was hoping we would get later on tomorrow, and they're not working until Monday, so I don't know anything. I can't update you on what's going on with the marketing campaign for the turnkey cash cow. I have been talking to people about the people. I've been talking to one person particularly about the optimization of the Binance Smart Chain for our members. I think we've got it all pretty sorted, but it's always good to get more opinions if they're available to you, and this is available to me. And so I've been trying to pick some brains there. That's a little bit ongoing because he doesn't really understand what I want, and he was suggesting some things that I don't think are relevant, because it's not uncommon actually. You tell programmers what you want and they tell you what they think you want, based on their past experience. But we tend to be a little bit different. We tend to think outside the box, and it's not always easy for a programmer to get into where we are. But I'll continue with that interaction, and we'll see if we can get additional information that can help us make the transition as smooth as possible. The little on the scheduled post, the banner or the picture or the page or whatever you call it, the on the video has been about poverty. Of course, we're on a mission to banish poverty, but you can't banish poverty by throwing money at it. I'm not saying that money isn't useful and people that are living in poverty don't need money. But even if you had enough money to satisfy the needs of everybody that is living in poverty, you wouldn't eliminate poverty. What is poverty? What is abundance? I believe abundance is having access to whatever you want and need whenever you need it. Poverty is not having abundance. Poverty is in a situation where you feel that you can never have what you want. A couple of little examples that some people might think are situations of poverty. One is when I was living in Long Beach in the United States, in California. There were quite often people were sleeping in the streets by the seafront, just tucked away somewhere. And are those people living in poverty because they are sleeping in the street? Well, I used to speak to some of these people, and most of them chose to sleep where they were. I was talking to one guy, he had a portable television set. He was set up there with an evening. We were out walking with dog and my wife and I. We got talking to this guy, and he was lying there, and he was all snug up. He was in his sleeping bag, and he had his kit with him, and provided he was lying there in the fresh air by the beach, watching his portable television. Now, many people may say, "Oh, he's homeless, he's living in poverty," but with what we got, guy, totally happy. He was totally content with everything he had, how he's lived. He didn't choose to do anything different than he was doing. Well, can that be classed as poverty? I don't think it can. Let's take another example. I spent some time when I was in Mexico with a guy. I just got off a train in a place. The train stopped at a station and there was nobody on the station. There was nothing to see. I got off the train not knowing what I was going to do because there was no, there was only the railway station there. And I got off the train. I thought, I'll get the next train. I'll just stretch my legs. And if I have to wait here for a day, I'll wait for a day. Well, what happened was I met a guy, and my Spanish was really poor. It's still really poor 50 years later, but it was even worse then. And I was Spanish speaking, and I got talking to him, and sort of we understood what was going on. And he invited me to his place, and we got it was a little what you would call a mud hut, I suppose. And he had a few chickens and had a little garden thing there. And I didn't really understand enough to know exactly what he did, but he seemed quite happy. The guy was quite happy and content. And I stayed with him for a day or two. And when I was leaving, he was really sad that I was going, and he could see tears in his eyes that I was going. And he'd actually killed the chicken, and we had chicken as the meals, which you wouldn't normally have done. Before I waved him goodbye. Now, he didn't have running water, he didn't have electricity, but he seemed to be quite happy and content with his life. And is that living in poverty? A lot of people would look at it and say, "Oh, this man is living in poverty. He can't possibly be happy," and all the rest of it. But I don't believe he was in poverty. I believe he was happy, contented, and living in the way that he wanted to live. Another example, when I was in Guatemala, in a place called Flores. It's actually where I met my wife. And she introduced me to a guy that lived on an island in the lake there at Flores. And once again, my Spanish was really bad, and everybody was just Spanish speaking, so I didn't grasp everything. But the guy took me in his little canoe, and he was trying to teach me how to paddle his canoe. He paddled all one-sided. Now, if you paddle all one-sided, it goes round in circles, but you paddle one-sided, and then you sort of use the paddle as a rudder to bring you back before you make your next stroke. Sounds simple, but it's not that easy. And we went over to where he lived on this little island. I don't think there was anybody else lived there. Once again, it was just a little hut, and no windows. There were holes in the wall. He had no running water. He had no electricity, and he kept bees. He was a beekeeper, and I'm not quite sure what he did. Whether he collected the honey and he traded it for things. He knew people in Flores, so I presume that's what he did. But I don't really know. But I went there and he showed me his hives, and all he had basically in the house, the only furniture, if you can call it furniture, was a hammock that was strung up in the house. And that was it. It was shelter from the sun or the rain. He had his hammock, and he seemed to be a very contented and happy guy. Now, is that living in poverty because he didn't run water, he didn't have electricity? And I don't believe it is. But there are some people that have running water and electricity, and they're struggling to make it meet. because they don't have hope. They don't see any way of changing their life, and they're always lacking. They're always short of cash, food, um, love, everything. And this is their focus because they're worried about where am I going to get the money from to pay for the food, to pay the rent, to fix the hole in the roof, to do whatever. And that's poverty. And it doesn't matter how much money they've got, if they're not happy and they're not contented and they've got no hope, then they're living in poverty. And there are a lot of people like that. Now, I'm not saying that it's their fault. I'm not saying that it's not their fault. I'm saying that they haven't found a way to change their outlook on life where they can see that there is a way to change their lot in life. And that is the only way that you can change their situation. If you throw money at them or bags of food or whatever it is, it changes their situation for a short while, but they're still in that same mindset. They're still in that imprisonment of a mental poverty, which keeps them in that state of material poverty. So you've got to be able to give somebody hope, the vision that things can be better, that can be changed, and show them a route to make that change. And it's got to be simple, it's got to be easy, it's got to be something anybody can do, but it's got to allow them to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and they've got to be able to see that if they just keep progressing, they get nearer and nearer to that light, and eventually they're out of the tunnel and they have a much wider perspective of what's going on. They can see the hills and the sky and metaphorically. And that's what our passive progressive income pools, our share hope token is about. It's about getting people to the stage where they can say, okay, this gives me hope. It's not immediate income, it's not a handout, it's not a gift, I'm not begging, I'm doing something that is creating good habits in my life that will allow me to choose and to change my life and take any direction that I desire. And that is what we have to offer. And that's why that little image about poverty has been there for the last couple of days, because we don't have the funds to say, oh, here's all the money you need for everything you need forever. And we don't believe that that would change it anyway, because they would just not really know what to do with all the money. They'd be great, and it would be wasted and they'd be back because they've not changed their attitude. They've not realized that there is hope beyond being a beggar, living on handouts, hoping that somebody is going to give something. We have to give them direction to show them, yeah, there is a path here. It's not that difficult. It takes a little bit of time, it takes patience, it takes persistence. But you can change your life through that. Not only your life, but the life of your children, your grandchildren, and their grandchildren for eternity. And that is what we're about. And that's what our program is about. And yeah, you can take it further and make lots of money once you get into the staking programs that we have, the secondary staking and the stable staking. And you can earn a lot of money from the Poverty Crusher plan by selling advertising packs, and from the Easy Business Builder, who's selling subscriptions in there. But essentially, we can give people a path who have nothing, not even hope. We can give them the path to that hope. There are four main pedestals that support abundance: peace, hope, harmony, and love. By giving them the love and showing them a path to the hope, being in harmony with them, understanding what they need, bringing them peace of mind, we establish those four pillars. They will be able to sit at the table of abundance, having whatever they need, whenever they need it. That is abundance. Not necessarily everything that you want and dream of, but everything that you need, whenever you need it. Okay. So I wanted to just go through that. Let's see who else we've got in. We've got Derek from West Palm Beach in Florida. Rosina from Edinburgh in Scotland. Subhash from, I don't know, India, maybe? I don't know. I don't understand what he's writing there. How is your going to day by day, Mr. Osaki? I don't really understand, but if you're asking me how I'm doing, I always do great. I don't allow myself to do anything other than great. I don't allow myself to feel anything other than great. I don't allow myself to be anything other than great. And tomorrow I'll be greater. Okay. So that's your answer to that, if that's what you were asking. But thank you for asking. Updates, I don't really have any. There's nothing I can add to what we've been doing. Vortic, I sent a message out about that today. They're still working on their withdrawal platform, their automated platform. It should be available probably by next weekend. So if you've got money in Vortic in your wallet and it's sat there doing nothing, you can't withdraw it. Your option, I think, is to compound it, but it's your choice, it's your money. But that's what I would do with it. I would whack it into one of your plans and increase your revenue, your weekly income from the plan that you have. The other thing about Vortic is they've introduced some new plans. I've not really studied them very well. They are for shorter periods of time. They're like 45 days, something like that. But it's basically a fixed plan. Your money is locked in for the 45 days, and you get a fixed return up to, because they can't guarantee if their trading goes haywire, then it's possible that you wouldn't get that value that they're talking about. But the quick look I've had at it, I'm not really impressed, I've got to be honest with you. I think you're far better off with getting to plan C or D, which they now have. Can't remember how much D is. I wonder if I've still got it. I did have a quick look at it. Let me see if it comes up here. Yeah, plan A is the original one that you can get in with $50, but it pays you 4% per week. Once you've got to $2,500, once you've built it up to there or put money in to get to that level, you get 5% per week. But the great thing about these plans is that income comes into your wallet weekly, and you can do what you want with it. You can either put it back in to compound your income, which is the best thing if you can afford to do that, or you can withdraw it. It's in your control. The next level is $10,000. Once you've got to $10,000, that's pretty amazing because it's 6% per week. And that was basically the top level that you could have. But they've introduced a plan now at $30,000. So whereas getting to $10,000 was the initial target to get to that top 6% per week that you were getting paid, get up to $30,000, because that is then going to be 7% per week. And that is going to make a huge, huge difference to you. And actually, once you've got to 10,000, if you compound persistently, not necessarily all of your income, but as much as you can of your income, you'll get to that 30,000 very quickly, and you'll see a huge jump in your income. And so I think that is really, really valuable addition, package D, and that set that as your goal, getting to there as quickly as you can, 30,000, earning 7% weekly. And then they have these shorter term plans. They say, I'm not really convinced. Your money's locked into the end of the investment, and I think you can do better without going into it in detail. I haven't done this in detail, but I think you can probably do better compounding it yourself through plan A, B, C, and D. I do need to make time to look at it and analyze it, which I've not really done. I've just had a quick look at it, and that's my quick overview of the situation. But certainly package D worth getting to. But as I say, you can't withdraw at the moment. You can make the withdrawal request, but it's not going to get paid until next week anyway. So you'll have your money sat there doing nothing for a week, where it could be increasing your income, compounding your income, which is what you want to do. You want to get to that 30 grand as quickly as you can. Okay, and we've got Kingsley in from Manchester, UK. Tomorrow is payday in Beyond Infinity as well. Today I had somebody join Beyond Infinity and asked me if I can pitch them in. So I told them what we do is we will give you $35 rebate if you pay your 50, or if you can't afford the 50, send us 15 and we'll do 50 for you. We can do instantly. But we do have a waiting list of over 200 people that we pitched in, and we get through a few each week, sometimes 5, sometimes 3, sometimes 10 if we have a good week. But in general, it's going to take a long, long time before you're into Beyond Infinity if you're just going to sit on that waiting list. We'll get you there eventually, but it's going to take a long time for the sake of $15. But it's your choice. But that is the way we're working it, because we just don't have the funds to say to 200 people, yeah, we'll pay you in at $50 each. We don't have that kind of cash to lay out. I know we get some of it back in commissions and things and different ways, but it's still a cash flow issue, okay? And so the only way we can do it is if you're on that waiting list, if you're in the line, we'll clear you as soon as we possibly can, but it'll be a long time. If you want to get in now and you've signed up under $15, it will get you there, okay? But tomorrow you will see the results of your weekly income. It'll go into your internal wallet and things, depending on where you're positioned and whether you've got people in that are active and things like that. The more people that you bring into your network, the greater the chance you have of them being active and building something and increasing the weekly rewards that you're going to make in the early days. Over time, it's not going to matter that much. But, if you want to get 3 highly active people in, you're probably going to have to introduce 150 people. That's the reality. There's only 2% that are actually going to be hugely active. You might be lucky and do it with less. You might be unlucky and do it with even more. But generally speaking, 2% is what you can expect. So if you have the opportunity, the wherewithal to get a few more people into your network, then do it. And if you don't, that's fine as well. It'll all happen in time. And time passes pretty quick. I mean, I know we've had some people saying about our PPIP plan, oh, I've got to wait 12 months. Well, there's nearly a month gone already. Already nearly a month has passed. And time flies. It really does go by so quickly. We are nearly, well, we're past the halfway mark in August. August is the 8th month of the year. Before you know it, it'll be Halloween, and it'll be Thanksgiving in the States, and then it'll be Christmas, and we'll be in the new year. And the older you get, the faster it seems to happen. It's relativity. Okay. So, don't worry about how long it's going to take you. Just put your plan in action, stick to it, go for it, and you'll find that things will happen and it'll seem a lot faster than you thought it would be when you started out. Okay? Let's have a look in the Melon app and we'll see. We did have or we still have Lewis in actually, but I mean, he was in early on saying hi to people. I can't see anybody else there, and I can't see any questions. So that pretty much covers all I've got for you today. There is a rugby game going on. England are playing Ireland in Ireland, and I think they're 3 tries down to what they were the last time I checked, just before I came live. So it looks like they're getting a bit of a pasting by Ireland. But it's all a learning curve, isn't it? If you want to be good at something, you've got to be prepared to be bad at it first of all. And you learn from all the heartbreak and all the errors and all the experiences, and it makes you stronger. And the stronger you get, the bigger the challenges come. So it's never easy because the challenges increase with your strength. But as you overcome the challenges, you grow stronger. And the challenges get bigger. And the rewards grow proportionately bigger as well. And that sense of accomplishment is what you enjoy when you overcome the obstacle. Okay, so that's it from me for today. I don't have anything further in the updates other than the numbers, which I'll give you. In the last 24 hours, we had a net increase of 20 in our registered members to 40,381. Net increase means we had 20 more registrations than the people we took out for being inactive, not having logged in for 2 months. We had an increase of 50 in our active members. These are people that log in at least half the available days in a month, up to 4,435. Multiply Visa, the bonus pool went up by $1 to 10,210, just from logging in and getting the revenue share. There were 7 new email verified members, and that's it. Those are your numbers for today. We will continue to see an increase in our membership base, and we will continue to see an increase in the percentage of active members as opposed to registered members. We will get it back where it was some time ago, at around about 80 to 90%. And when we get there, a lot of people are going to be very happy because they're going to be making more money, because it will improve our liquidity and value of our token. And so the stockpile that you've been building in that wealth builder will increase exponentially. But also it will give us the opportunity to do more and help more in many more ways our membership based, and you'll be able to use some of that wealth in getting into the secondary staking and the staking plan. We've got people in the secondary staking now that are making thousands of dollars a month, totally passive income. And you can be there doing the same thing. All it takes is time to build it up, and you can get started now for $25. The stable stake plan is 100, but it's unlimited time. The secondary staking is a 5-year contract. Okay, that's it from me. I love you all. I'll be back here tomorrow, 7 p.m. London time on YouTube, Twitch, and in our Facebook group. We share abundance publicly. Until then, get out there, be with the warriors, share some love, be of service to others. You'll have a happier life. And happiness is what we all seek. Until then, God bless you all. And I'll see you later, alligator. In a wild crocodile. See you later, alligator. Always wear a smile. See you later, alligator. Go the extra mile.